It's the best of the best of the best today on Schmoedown. A triple threat match to determine the next #1 contender to Dangerous Dan Murrell's Movie Trivia Schmoedown Championship of the World. The three competitors are the last three former Movie Trivia Schmoedown champions: William the Beast Bibbiani, the Outlaw John Rocha, and Big Time Ethan Erwin in timeline order. So, who's going to come out on top today? Who's going to be the next #1 contender to be officially Dangerous Dan Murrell's first challenger in his three-time defense? Well, let's find out now on JTH Reacts to the Movie Trivia Schmoedown. Welcome back. Okay, so these three players obviously need no introduction. They're the three former champions, as I pointed out. Both have kind of gone through different roads to this path. Two of them had to go through #1 contender matches to get here, and the other one is the most recent champion, being Ethan Erwin. As far as who I think is going to win, this is actually kind of interesting. Obviously, triple threats are a little bit more tricky to figure out in terms of predicting a winner. I know a lot of people are jumping on the Ethan Erwin bandwagon, and for obvious reasons. I mean, he's the most recent former champion, and is a damn good player at that. The one knock I would probably have on Ethan Erwin right now, if there's anything to kind of, look at, is he's not played since he lost the championship at the Brooklyn Live event, which was the Season 6 premiere. It's been almost 3 months. In fact, I think that's actually the longest break that Ethan has had since he became an official player in Schmoedown. I don't think he's actually had a longer stint of absence. So he's jumping right back in cold. That's usually not the best success, especially when you're going against two very talented players and there's just so much on the line. So if Ethan wins today, it will be very, very much earned. Now let's go to the Outlaw John Rocha, the next most recent champion. He's kind of had an up and down road over the last year. He formed the Five Horsemen. He's kind of been hit and miss in the singles division. Won some pretty big matches, lost some pretty big matches. So his free-for-all performance is most certainly not what he was hoping for. But as I've said ad nauseum, not many people this year at the free-for-all probably had a performance that they would be totally satisfied with. John, I think, would probably be the height of that, simply based on the way that he went out. The diamonds, jewels, controversy, which me personally, I supported the verdict. I've always been of the opinion that diamonds are crystals. They're not jewels. I think jewels and crystals are different. So I was fine with the ruling when it happened, and obviously I was there, so I kind of saw it firsthand. And ultimately, I understood where people were coming from with that opinion, but ultimately I think the verdict was correct. John was very vocal about it, but you got to move on. Usually, when you keep stuff in your head like that, it usually will come back to bite you in some capacity or another. Now we come to William the Beast Bibbiani. Obviously, he was the talk of the entire free-for-all, arguably even more so than the person that won the damn thing, and the singles champion himself, Dan Murrell. Went the entire duration of the free-for-all, went from #1 to the very end, lasted all two parts of the free-for-all, was up there for about 3 total hours, and looked like he enjoyed the entire time. Last year at the free-for-all, he rode his very impressive performance at the free-for-all and rode that momentum all the way throughout the season. which ultimately led to him becoming the singles champion. I've always been of the opinion that momentum is a very, very real thing, especially in any facet, whether it be physical sports or mental sports or anything like that. Momentum is real. And when you feel confident in your abilities, you can go a long way. Which is why I have said numerous times before this match that I actually think Bibbiani is actually the favorite right now. I think he is riding so much momentum. He's on such a emotional high that I think he can carry that through this match, even though the players that he's playing against are very, very talented in Rocha and Erwin. But ultimately, I think this will be a very, very competitive match. I think this could very arguably be the best triple threat match that they've had so far. They've obviously not had that many. They've only had a handful. And all of them, obviously being former champions, know their stuff. We know they're going to give it everything they have. And so, ultimately, cannot wait to see this. Really looking forward to it. So, let's not waste any more time. Get the headphones on. And let's do this in 3, 2, and 1. April 13th, which is tomorrow. Sweet home, Chicago.
They are capable of working together. You're a force to be reckoned with, and you can take it all the way.
Going up against Ben Bateman and Riley, who's the boss for a shot to play for the team championship
2019.
And here's to a good match.
That's the one
Cheers.
I want.
I can't wait to beat Bateman again.
There's no way I'm going to get nervous on that stage. I was born to compete.
I was born to perform. He was born to perform.
Star Wars explained himself, puts his title on the line, and it goes down during Star Wars Celebration.
This is just what I do all day, every day. It's hard to stump me. Riley's a legend.
Again, we got further information as to why the 5-way Star Wars match was not going to be available for live stream. But yeah, Lucasfilm has something to do with it. But oh well. Hopefully there'll just be a preview promo that leads up to who ends up facing Damon. Hello, Beast.
Hey.
Hey, Brendan Meyer. Hi, the kid.
Mr. Bibbiani.
You have to call me Mr. Bibbiani.
Okay. Mr. Beast.
Better.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Bibbs.
What's up, buddy?
No, I just wanted to say congrats again on the free-for-all performance, and really just every match, man. You're the best.
You're
the best.
You're too kind. You're too kind. And I want to congratulate you on your free-for-all performance.
Oh,
you really blew
thanks.
everybody away.
Oh, wow.
I think you made such an impression.
Oh,
You did.
On the world at large.
That means so much.
I was doing this a
man.
lot.
I've watched you so many times, and all the time I'm watching you, man.
Thanks for making that weird.
I didn't do it.
I thought it was weird too. That's a perfect JTH.
Like the way people watch each other.
You know, like you do.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, no, just want to say that.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Oh, I just got to ask, you studying up? Is that what's going on here?
No,
down, cue cards thing.
It's entrances. Entrances.
Yes.
I do the entrances.
Yes.
Got a big plan for these.
Okay, all right, okay.
It's gonna be quite the
Well, if you need me at all for, big plans, let me know. If you want,
noted.
All right.
Why is he here?
I think I'm gonna go.
Okay.
Yeah. But this was good.
This was fun.
Okay.
Thank you. The kid.
I actually got to talk to Bibbiani after the free-for-all, and he actually talked about what he wanted to do for an entrance in this, but said it was so unrealistic they might not be able to do it. So we'll see what he comes up with now, and we'll find out if it's better. Hello, Mark. Hello, Christian. The gang's all here. I almost forgot. God damn, what is wrong with me today? Must have had too much sun today.
Three former champions in the form of William the Beast Bibbiani, the free-for-all MVP, Ethan Erwin, the former.
I also really like Ethan's shirt. I'm Ethan doing Ethan
Rocha,
things.
Former two-time champ. What a matchup today.
Hey, Christian, you know how to get me to a studio, and that's when you say three-way. Now, we got a bunch of dudes in here that are going to get very...
Ow!
In the form of movie trivia, trivia, so it's a clean, family-friendly match, and you're right. The theatrics, the entrances.
We've gotten weird 5 times over already, and we haven't even done opening promos. That might be a record.
Rushmore of the movie trivia Schmoedown. You just need one more face because these could be the other 3.
It's absolutely right, and they've all faced one another one way. They've faced each other one way or another. Like if you look at Ethan, Erwin, and Bibbiani, they faced each other in teams and on the free-for-all last year. But William Bibbiani was the champion. John Rocha took the championship from him. And then Ethan Erwin took the championship from him. And then Dan Murrell took the championship from him in New York. That's who stands, that's who has the championship right now, and that's who they will play. Any one of these guys, there's a story if they wind up winning to play Dan Murrell. It's going to be very interesting to watch today.
Yeah, and the 3-way matchup, the triple threat as you call it, is very exciting because it's a different type of strategy that's going to be involved. You better take a drink of water because you're going to be doing 3 intros here today, and it's going to get
Oh no, it's LaCroix. We know better than that.
Controversial. We have no idea what's in store. All we know is that there's going to be a lot of excitement.
Please don't say that. Okay, now we are going to go to the pre-interviews to hear from all 3 of our competitors.
This ought to be interesting.
William the Beast
Ah.
Bibbiani, John the Outlaw Rocha. I am throwing Ethan Erwin into that number 1.
It was Red Shade. They went Avengers Endgame on us. What a shame.
You have to respect what's about to happen. Yourself, former movie trivia Schmoedown champion,
and no button-up shirt.
Ran through the free-for-all, former movie trivia Schmoedown champion, the Outlaw John Rocha, movie trivia Schmoedown champion. There is nothing but respect for the other 2 men that will be at this table.
Well, I'm back at it again. The Outlaw is here. Another triple threat match against 2 of the Goliaths of the Schmoedown.
So I don't know about those other guys, but my 2019 has been great. I am
Team
on
table.
A winning streak.
Team coffee
in
table.
Singles. I've only had 1 really awesome loss against the Shire Wolves. Like, it came really, really close. And, you know, there was that free-for-all in which I think I kind of proved that I have nothing left to prove anymore.
On one side, William Bibbiani. On the other, Ethan Erwin. William coming off of that free-for-all run, an incredible run, all the way to the end. Couldn't get it done. Ethan Erwin wins that title. Couldn't defend it.
It took Murrell having to play a perfect game, okay? It wasn't a miss a question. It was a perfect game to beat big time. What's on his mind is going back to that big dance, and that big dance has Dan Murrell at the helm.
Bibbs, I already took care of you once. Took that belt right off you. Ethan, I owe you for that loss. I got revenge in my eyes. I got a drive in my heart.
I won the championship. Rocha took it from me. Ethan took it from Rocha. And now we all get to play each other. And let me tell you something. I'll bet that really scares the hell out of Ethan and Rocha, but not me. I want a Contenders match at Free For All 3. You know what? I can get right back into a Contenders match tomorrow if I want. I'm feeling no pain. I got no problems whatsoever. I just want to take down Dan because you know what? Out of all those guys, I'm the only person who has never lost a championship match to Dan Murrell.
I held that belt for just a little over a month, and I tell you what, it was a great feeling, and to lose it sucked. And so I am coming back for that belt today. And let me tell you something. I have had some great opponents, but I have never in my life had a 3-way like this. And I am a movie producer. I've been around the world. I've seen the London Bridge. I have seen the Eiffel Tower. I have seen the Golden Gate. I've been to a Hawaiian spit roast. But I have never been sandwiched like this, and I am stoked.
This is a different 3-way. You talking about the nose 3-ways. This is something completely.
Everyone's been asking me if this is the last run for me in singles. The truth is, I don't know. I just focus on the belt. But I can feel that sunset calling me. I can feel that my time might be up in the Schmoedown. But you never know with the Outlaw. You never know.
Let's just have a really good match out there. Let's kick each other's butts all the way across the stage, and then let me fight Dan, because I think everyone wants to see that for realsies this time, don't you?
So John Rocha, William Bibbiani, you guys are great competitors, but you're about to be 2 great losers at the end of the day.
Only 2
and
things you can.
You know what? You did this better last time. You do it.
Nothing, and deal with it, damn it!
Who's Bibbs talking to? Is he talking to Ethan or is he talking to John? Was he talking to the other dude off camera? Who knows?
It's heated. They're ready. There's a lot of respect between the three of them. We know that John really wants to take this from Ethan because it still sticks. It really sticks to the fact that he lost to Ethan. He didn't
Also, great news regarding the Chicago event. We got the news that it officially sold out. 1,000 people will be at the Chicago live show. Speaking of the devil, they just showed it. Sold out, 1,000 people. That is awesome.
Player of the year. Singles player of the year. There's just so many accomplishments already in his young career.
Yeah, and the X factor here could be Jay Washington as his manager because he's got somebody in his corner to keep him calm, as if Ethan needed somebody to keep him more calm. Ethan's pulse, I guarantee you, he's like Van Damme in Time Cop when he'd have to wake him up to make sure that he's ready for the mission. Whereas Bibbiani and Rocha, like Time Cop, if they fart, they're going to get ahead of the pod.
Well, we're going to find out.
I don't get it.
So much going on. I mean, look, we're in May here, and John Rocha is going to Houston.
In May? We're not in May.
Against Double Toasted in Houston at the Booker T Arena. Tickets still available. But also think about that. If John Rocha, it's got to be in his mind. If he pulls it off today, he's got to go up against his teammate. If William Bibbiani plays, he gets to against Merle. He gets to go up against the guy that took him out at the free-for-all after being #1 all the way to the end. If Ethan plays against Merle, we get that rubber match. So there's so much on the table right now.
You got to mention rubber and all these things about three-ways and movie trivia, Schmoedown, all these sexual references and sexual gags, and then you bring up rubber. You guys know how to put your words in right. I'm curious to see what he comes up with, because what he came up with was actually kind of funny, but I don't know how it would have worked. And he said the same thing.
He is the #3 ranked contender and the free-for-all MVP, William the Beast Bibbiani.
Wait a minute. This ain't no movie. Hope it don't get copyrighted. $1.
Maybe a cruise to France.
But who Bob Barker. But who gets kissed on the cheek? Bob also he's got kissed on the cheek.
Representing the 5 Horsemen with a record of 12 wins, 7 defeats, and 3 knockouts.
I was if they were doing Prices Right, I was expecting someone to try and tackle him. Pure Happy Gilmore. I don't know. I guess he's not the next contestant on The Price is Right. Oh well. $1. Up! Someone got kissed on the cheek. There's the Price is Right reference.
But you know, Outlaw Nation is at full mast here for this match today.
John's standing too.
Let's dance, people. Let's dance.
Oh, John did this against Bibbiani when he won the title, so now he's standing.
Next up, he's going to blindfold Ethan.
And their opponent.
I don't know what you're into, William, but that ain't me.
It's a three-way.
With rubbers and weird entrances and three-ways.
With a record of 7 wins, 2 defeats, and 3 knockouts. Led to the ring by his manager, the Urban Gladiator, Jay Washington. The #1 ranked contender, Ethan Big Time Erwin. Jay, where's Big Time?
Jay got his.
Seen him since New York.
Gotta do the Ethan, rap, Ethan, rap.
Since that loss to Merle, when Merle needed the perfect game to take the title from him.
They love him here, and Jay Washington very cordial. Ethan will be sitting
Ethan wants to sit.
No, he's a rebel. This is no.
Ethan wants to sit.
Ah, this is gonna be a camera angle will be very awkward.
Our competitors have taken the table, and Mark, it is time to read the rules. Here we go.
In round number 1, whether a competitor is sitting or standing, it works the same way. You are going to hear 8 different questions from 8 different corners of the movie Trivia Schmoedown Galaxy. Each question is worth 1 point. There is no penalty for missing a question.
Except everyone at the table will laugh at you.
Round number 1, you're going to hear a question asked to the
The
field.
pressure.
Please write down your best attempt at an answer on the whiteboard we have so kindly provided in front of you. Once we ask you by name to reveal your answer, please show your
Since these
whiteboard
players
to
are
the
very,
camera.
very talented, I'm
Vocalize
expecting
your
to probably
answer
only get
into the
maybe
microphone.
1,
It is a triple threat
maybe
match.
2.
Each competitor will have 3 usages.
Not no
of
Mo,
the
though.
JTE rule throughout the duration of the 3-round match. You also each have 1 challenge. God willing, it does not get used.
All right, so with that, I will start with Ethan Erwin. Are you ready?
Always be closing.
Bibbiani.
Team coffee table.
And John Rocha.
Always ready. Let's do this.
Then let's get ready to Schmoedown.
Yay!
All right, here we go. Here we go.
Right?
Guys, first question. We will make sure to call William and not the Beast.
Ah, ah.
Here we
They
go.
remembered.
First question in the realm of action adventure. John Travolta and Jonathan Rhys-Meyers played mismatched spies in which 2010 action thriller?
Ooh. I want to... Yeah. We get
5, 4,
we get to have a fond reminiscence
3,
after you give the answer to this.
2, 1, pens down. Ethan.
From Paris with Love.
Correct. Bibbiani.
From Paris with Love.
Yes, and Rocha.
To Paris with Love?
Can't give it to you. Can't give it to you.
It's the reply.
The sequel, however. Actually, that would be an awesome name if that movie had been successful.
Yeah.
One of the all-time dumb fun movies to watch.
Yeah.
From Paris with Love. Next question comes from the world of directors.
Ethan.
Keep in mind,
It's
I know
Ethan.
the next question. You don't have to say it.
You
under
sure?
me.
Well,
Yeah.
you knew this.
Next question. Next question in the world of directors. Who directed the film The Grand Budapest Hotel? Nicest hotel you've ever been.
You know, there was one in 5, 4, 3.
It was Ojai, wasn't it?
2.
Paul Thomas Anderson.
When you
Pens
took
down.
the
Paul
family
Thomas
out.
Anderson.
Wes Anderson.
Oh, darn it.
Wes Anderson.
Ethan.
Wes Anderson.
Crap.
There you go. So 2, 2, and 1.
Wrong Anderson.
Question 3.
I got tricked by movie fights because I remember Tony Revolori was on that one time.
Dramas.
Got them mixed up.
Cruise movie depicts a young Irish couple struggling to become landowners after immigrating to the U.S.
Stayed at a Four Seasons one time in Boston. Holy, they have a Steinway and Sons piano in the lobby that you can play.
I don't know.
3.
You can play.
2, 1. Rocha.
Far and away.
Yes. Ethan.
Far and away.
And Bibbiani.
It concludes with a great homage to Cimarron, Far and Away.
Yes. Okay. Next question.
You dropped a fact on the floor there, William.
I'm a film critic.
Romantic comedies. Rom-coms is your next category, and the question is, which 2002 romantic comedy stars Jennifer Lopez and Ralph Fiennes?
Ray Fiennes.
Okay.
Why do we all know this so fast?
I don't know, but I sure don't.
I've been
5,
corrected.
4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down, and Ethan.
Made in Manhattan.
Oh.
Yes. Bibbiani.
Made in Manhattan.
And Rocha.
That great Latino classic made in Manhattan.
Yes, it is. 4, 4, 3.
I'm not doing so well. I don't even know why I don't even know why I brought this. I don't think I've used it.
Which Oscar-winning actress plays the character Mrs. Coulter in The Golden Compass?
I have a theory.
What's that?
So, like, she's a maid that works in Manhattan,
Right.
but I have a feeling she's also going to get made in Manhattan. You get it?
Yeah,
Like
good. Should be a producer.
M-A-D-E.
5.
Yeah.
Ethan, hire this guy. 4, 3,
Never.
2, 1. Pens down. Bibbiani.
Nicole Kidman?
Nope.
Yes.
Okay.
John
Damn
Rocha.
Nicole Kidman.
And Ethan.
Nicole Kidman.
There we go. Ethan and Bibbs have not missed. Rocha's only down by 1. Only
This
down
is
by
the
1.
triple threat that we expected,
It is,
given
so far.
the talent on the table. Your next category is in the world of comedies. Your question is, which film based on a Saturday Night Live character stars Tim Meadows, Billy D. Williams, and John Witherspoon? You know, speaking of comedy, Rocha gets down there to Houston. He might be doing a set at the Joke Joint May 17th.
5.
Live character, Saturday Night Live
Right
character.
now. 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down, please. And
I'm gonna kick myself.
Rocha.
The ladies.
That's
This
right.
is Ethan
The ladies' man.
and Bibbiani.
Ladies' man.
Didn't have done it, is it?
No, that's fine.
Okay.
That's fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Are you challenging that? Or no?
No.
Okay.
If anybody has a question, the ruling
If I
of
put Paris with Love, would that have counted over to and from?
No, because that's not an article.
Oh, who's asking you?
Okay.
yeah, the ruling
You shut
with
your mouth.
articles at the beginning of a movie is if it is a 2-word film like The Thing, you need to have the and thing. But if it's any longer than that, then you can simply have Ladies' Man or The Ladies' Man. It is Fielder's choice.
Understood. Okay. All right. So here's
Good
the
rolling.
Next question. Next question. All right. Horror /
Lovely.
Which classic silent film involves a vampire named Count Orlok?
All right, trivia question for you. What was the silent film that won the Oscar in like 2010?
I'm getting nightmares when you bring up silent film. I don't want to talk about it. 5, 4.
I thought you liked it.
3, 2.
Oh, is it an
1.
inside joke?
Yes. Pens down, please. And Ethan.
Nosferatu.
Yes. Bibbiani.
Nosferatu.
Rocha.
Nosferatu.
Yes.
Incorrect ruling is for The Nosferatu.
Ah, too soon.
7, 6.
From Nosferatu?
It's actually Nosferatu and Symphony der Grauen, but okay.
We are looking at the possibility, Christian, of 2 perfect round ones. Rocha just a point away from it, but Erwin
And me,
Bibbiani
I've got a
still
perfect
in the mix.
round going
If they get
too,
this question
but
right, they will be asked a bonus
all
question
bad.
that them and them alone will be writing
Holy
down
crap.
the potential answer to, but that's only if they get
I
the
was
question
fearing
right.
that this could happen. I didn't know how right I was.
The following question comes courtesy of Michael Campbell. Give him a big round of applause.
Michael Campbell, we just saw you last match. I know what that's like, getting double plugged in a video. Oh, yeah, I might get one. Come on, Michael, give me one.
Your question is, a young boy and his sister struggled to survive in war-torn Japan in this acclaimed Studio Ghibli film. Ghibli? Ghibli? Ghibli.
Bibbiani knows it. 5, 4.
Is it Spirited Away?
2, 1. Pens down and Bibbiani.
That would be the heartbreaking Grave of the Fire.
Oh.
Correct. Perfect round for Bibbs.
That's
Rocha.
a one-pointer?
Rocha.
Princess Mononoke. Yeah,
No, and Ethan.
Nope.
Didn't have it, so only Bibbs. Only Bibbs. Very interesting. The free-for-all MVP doing what he did at the free-for-all. And here we go. Bibbs, this is just for you. You do not have to write it down. Here's your bonus question. In the film Tootsie, who plays the role of George Fields, who is Michael's agent?
Sidney Pollack.
One more
Man.
point for Bibbs. Bibbs goes up now. 9 to 6. What a round for Bibbiani.
He's riding the momentum so
Doing what
far.
He does well in that first round.
Good job, bud.
He's just continuing his momentum from previous matches.
I just
Listen, I
said
would
that.
See, Frankie's stats, look this up. Frankie numbers, Frank Janet from the Schmoedown Rundown. I want to know what Bibbiani's per round average is when he's sitting versus when he's standing. Because
crazy.
this guy shifts into another gear when he's standing up and not encumbered by some sort of chair.
No, it's pretty gnarly. All right, so now we get to round number 2, Mark. The rules are pretty much the same for the triple threat, but please explain.
It's the same. For the most part, it is still known as the wheel round, the wheel of fate, doom, and justice. Each
death.
competitor gets a spin at
Man,
the
I am
wheel. If you don't like the category,
very
you spin
disappointed in
unless it's
myself.
bonus
Put up
choice.
a
You're
big
awarded a mulligan,
donut.
which is golf for duo.
Donut out
Once
of
you set
9.
the category, you're going to be asked 4 questions from said category. Each question is
Boy,
worth
I
2
got
points.
a great
If you pose
career
a
on the
question,
horizon.
The answer, ask us for multiple choice. We'll give you 4 options, one of which we promise is correct. Keep in mind there is stealing, and the way that a steal works in a triple threat match is that if the competitor who is first asked the question does not know it, the steal will then be thrown to the field where the competitors will have to write down their attempted answer on a whiteboard, and then when we ask you by name, it works like round number 1. You show us at the same time you verbalize your answer into the microphone. Yeah.
The wheel for today's match is sponsored by our Schmoedown patron, Jake Burton, on patreon.com/Schmoedown. The sponsored wheel slices for today's match are Mixed Bag and 90s. Thank you, Jake. All right,
the
so
whole
here's how this works. Bibbiani, you have 9 points here. Now you can defer to Ethan if you like, who then, if he wants to, can defer to John. What would you like to do?
I would like to defer to Ethan.
All right, Ethan.
What's he going to do, Christian?
I will go.
He's going.
Because he's Ethan, doing Ethan things.
I mean, when you're in a triple threat match, sometimes you want to get your segment out of the way, and then you can just sit back.
Oh, hard spin. Gonna kill the wheel.
Strong spin by Ethan.
Now you know that Rocha and Bibbiani for the
He had the digital wheel. He wasn't aware that the wheel is dying.
Competitors become allies, if only for a moment.
For a second, and they haven't seen these two team up in a long time.
Is it going to be Jodie Foster making her debut? No.
90s films. 90s.
Mm.
Do it. All right, Ethan, who's been the king of the second round.
I was alive then.
All right, here you go, Ethan. 90s.
But was the kid?
Please be prepared with your boards, guys. Be prepared with your boards. Here comes the first question. 4 questions. Ethan, who played the character of Bob Cratchit in The Muppet Christmas Carol?
Michael Caine.
Oh, it's Kermit the Frog.
For the steal.
For the steal, please write down your best attempt at
It's Kermit the Frog.
15 seconds.
Michael Caine was Scrooge.
5, 4.
It's Kermit the Frog.
2, 1. Pens down. Rocha for the steal.
I don't know. Steve Martin.
And Bibbiani.
Kermit the
That's
Frog.
correct. Bibbiani, 2 points.
It's the Muppet Christmas Carol.
Kermit is not a who, he's an it, but it's okay.
Hey, that's a fair challenge.
Do you want to?
It said what character?
Yeah, challenge. Why not?
So you're challenging
said-
that he's not a who, he's an it.
Yeah,
It said what character?
A who is a person.
Yep.
The question was what character?
May I counter? No, you cannot. Challenge on the
Play the
board.
game.
Challenge on the board. All right.
The question was what character? So it can be anything. Character can be a who or an it.
With the judges, it has been determined that Kermit the Frog, the beloved character from pop culture, is in fact a who, and the question will stand as ruled.
Boo.
Ethan's challenge has been overruled.
Wait, does that mean you're also a person?
He was credited in the movie Kermit the Frog as Bob Cratchit.
In the same way that Chewbacca, you feel like maybe he's an it, but it's also a person. You could say who for a number of different characters.
I might need to go back. I guess I didn't hear how they worded the question, but I thought the question was what character.
We also would have
So-
accepted the name of the voice actor who accepted the role of Kermit the Frog, who played, of course, Bob Cratchit.
All right, here
It's
we
a
go.
goddamn Muppet.
All right.
Muppets are people too, you know.
Question number 2. All right. In what movie does Christian Slater play a teenage pirate radio DJ?
Pump up the volume.
Correct for 2 points.
All-time great hair, Christian Slater.
All right, question number 3. Question number 3. In Hot Shots Part 2, who plays President Thomas Tug Benson?
Lloyd Bridges.
Yes.
Man.
Nice.
One of the all-time great comedy performances in those 2 movies.
All right, here we go. Last question here. In the 1992 Steve Martin comedy Leap of Faith, who plays Will Braverman, a sheriff who tries to prevent the townspeople from being conned?
Liam Neeson.
Correct.
Wow.
Well, he rebounded nicely from that challenge, Chris.
Rebounded nice from Kermit the Frog.
So now, Bibbs, it goes back to you unless you want to defer to Rocha.
I will defer to Rocha.
Okay, so now Rocha will spin.
Here comes the Outlaw, trailing by...
Ah, he gonna kill the wheel too.
He needs something big. He can't fall behind. He's got to have a nice round here.
But Erwin, Christian, when you're talking about competitors of this caliber, Erwin did give him an opening, missing that Bob Cratchit Kermit the Frog question.
He did for sure. But Bibbs, unfortunately for Rocha, stole that. But he's got to stop here.
Looming near.
Might be good for him. Could be good.
He likes
sports movies.
This was what he did against Ethan. He had sports. It didn't work out his way.
Familiar. We're sports movies. Let's do this.
All right, John Rocha, you have spun the category of
Sports.
And the host of Sports Talk will hear 4 questions. And your first question is, please stay near the microphone, sir. What is Ivan Drago's son's name in Creed 2?
Multiple choice.
Is it A, Anatoly, B, Vladimir, C, Victor, or D, Boris?
Victor.
Victor?
Give him a point.
Victor Drago sounded good off the tongue, so it had to be right.
All right, Rocha,
Would have helped if I'd actually gone out and saw it.
In the 2005 version of The Longest Yard, who plays Adam Sandler's newfound friend, Caretaker?
Chris Rock.
Burt Reynolds.
That is
Chris Rock.
For a 2-point steal, we need both competitors to write down your best attempt at an answer.
Chris
You have
Rock.
15 seconds.
It's Chris
Well,
Rock.
You probably got about 8 now.
Repeat the question if you don't know.
5, 4.
It's Chris Rock.
2, 1. Pens down. And Ethan?
I didn't have it. I said Damon Wayans.
Bibbiani?
I don't have it. I said Billy Connolly.
For Chris Rock.
Come on. How do I know that question and they don't? That was a total Sarabi moment.
What actor portrayed Ricky Bobby's father in 2006's Talladega Nights, The Ballad of Ricky Bobby?
Gary Cole.
For 2 points.
All right, Rocha. Back on the answering train. He can pull within even of Bibbs and within 2 points of Ethan if he gets his last question in the world of sports correct. That query is, what sports film stars Omar Epps, Sanaa Lathan, Dennis Haysbert, and Alfred Woodard?
5, 4.
Multiple
3.
choice. Damn it.
Multiple choice options are, is it A, Coach Carter, B, Street Ballers, C, Love and Basketball, or D, Friday Night Lights? He's on
Love and Basketball.
Love and Basketball?
Give him a point.
All right, so now...
Way tougher than I thought.
Navigating his way around that category, Christian, but it's not the result he quite wanted from something that he feels pretty strongly
He
about.
still finds himself down both. He's down 1 by Bibbs, who has not spun yet, and down by 3, Erwin, who has completed his round. But now Bibbiani is up. Bibbiani could do something really big here should he hit something that is his strength, but opponent's choice is always on that wheel, Mark.
Here he comes, Bibbiani.
Good spin by
He must have hit something new on his first spin. Very talented.
By Bibbiani seems to really be helping him out though too. It just seems a lot more relaxed these days.
Well, it's the stand. It's like at the office now. You have all these people with the standing desks.
Oh, it's going past it.
And this could be disaster
movies.
Disaster films.
Disaster films is Bibbiani.
He's going to try again.
Look at that form. That is what you want to copy.
Oh, don't walk away. You might get something the same.
DVD. I like the relaxed nature of William Bibbiani. I think that he's taken a lot of momentum from his performance.
I said that 3 times over.
The MVP of spinning form as well. But Christian, this is coming back. This could be opponent's choice.
Oh! Oh!
Mark, now Ethan and Rocha are going to team up, an unlikely team up here.
I love their best friends now.
An unlikely team up here.
He spun away from disaster movies, and he spun into an actual disaster.
What are they going to do here? What can they give him that they think it's going to be tough? Because sports
mixed bag. Mixed bag is probably the ultimate one if they can't agree on anything.
Strength of Rocha.
Smart.
And now Ethan maybe talk with Rocha about what he thinks his strength is, because again, there could be some jocularity going on between the competitors as what they think they could steal the best.
All right, we got to get an answer from you guys here. We got to give you a 5 count. You've got to choose it, or we're going to choose for you. Ready? All right, here we go. And they're going to go to disaster.
The category that William Bibbiani spun away
Interesting.
from. That's a great call.
Very interesting. Okay. Well,
it's tough. Bibbs knows so much. It's
disaster films.
Very kind of you, John.
Disaster films. All right, here we go, guys. William, you're going to get 4 questions here in the realm of disaster films.
Twister, Volcano.
In the film 2012, who played geologist Adrian Helmsley, chief science advisor to the president?
Chiwetel Ejiofor.
That is correct. 2 points.
Wow. Correct. Somebody has seen that film multiple times.
Good job, Biz.
All right, here you go. Next one. In the 90s disaster film Volcano, which MCU star plays Tommy Lee Jones?
Don Cheadle.
Emmett Reese.
Boom!
4 points.
Why do you not do disaster? Seems to be backfiring for Rocha and Erwin so far. William Bibbiani in sole possession of first place.
And Naomi Watts and Ewan McGregor star together in which disaster film?
Multiple choice.
Is it A, The Impossible?
Yes.
Okay, that's
not allowing you.
Nope.
Oh, and no one else got to hear those great choices.
This is your last one here, William. Which 1950s disaster film stars John Wayne as a pilot on a dying plane?
Ooh. Multiple choice.
Is it A, When Worlds Collide, B, 0 Hour, C, A Night to Remember, D, The High and the Mighty?
The High and the Mighty.
For 1 point.
Wow.
Rocha was already writing down the answer.
Fate seems to be on his side right now, Mark. He went to multiple choice here twice, which helped them a little bit. But Rocha finds himself down 7 points to Bibbiani, 3 down to Erwin as we get into the third round. But man, he is down 7 points to Bibbs. This is a big thing. Bibbiani could finally have his revenge. And
yeah, and Bibbiani's starting to get like that NBA jam. He's feeling.
Oh my, he's on fire.
Seem like you can throw a question or a category by William Bibbiani with him getting a lot of points out of it as we move into round number 3 in our triple threat match. It works very similar to a normal.
I mean,
two-person operation.
I can understand where their logic came from giving Bibbs disaster films, because even if you give him mixed bag, you can give him 3. He can get 3 categories or even 4 categories of strength. So at least disaster films, it's kind of a niche-er, category. At least you know he's not going to get anything that he may potentially know. But I did know the Don Cheadle, and somehow I knew Volcano would come up. I'm just disappointed that Twister didn't.
Delicious lemonade in the form of disaster movies.
3, 6, and 9.
17 points is your current.
He usually does 3, 6, 9.
By 4 of Ethan, and you lead 7 over Rocha.
Usually does multiples.
What 3 numbers would you like to have in round number 3?
I will take 17, 13, and 10.
17, 13, and 10.
The score! The score! He took the score.
I'll take 1, 9, and 7.
1, 9, and 7.
I got what he did there.
8, 2, and 9.
Can't have 9. Ethan took 9.
20.
12.
12 is available. Okay. So we will start with Rocha, who needs to get at least his 2.
I need to get them all. Let's be real.
Well, no, you just got to beat. You just got to tie. You just got to tie Erwin. All right, let's start here with John Rocha.
I'm not trying to stay alive.
Who has number 8? Number 8 for John Rocha.
Sports movies. Oh, great.
You got it?
Yeah. All right, John, you selected number 8 for your 2-point question, and that corresponds up here. It's not sports movies. It's actually directors.
Ethan Erwin. No, incorrect.
And your question, John, for 2 points. Who directed the 2011 sci-fi thriller Source Code?
Duncan Jones.
2 points.
There you go. Okay. Stay with John here.
Good film.
I love that movie.
We stay with John, and he now has category number 2. He's got category number 2.
His 3-point. That was maybe the longest breath he's ever uttered into a microphone, which is a record around the world. You selected Cameron Diaz for your 3-point category.
That nice lady. Okay.
As opposed to what Mance would say.
She's probably watching. Hi, Miss Diaz. Your question is, in the film Being John Malkovich, who plays Maxine Lund, Schwartz's co-worker, who Cameron Diaz's Lottie eventually falls in love with?
Catherine Keener.
3 points for the
Outlaw. So
Impressive.
Now we go to Ethan. Ethan needs to hit his 2 or his 3, but he. All right, here we go. So next, Ethan chose. Ethan chose number 1. Ethan chose number 1. All right, Ethan, your first question, your 2-pointer. Musicals. All right, here we go. In Mamma Mia, here we go.
Oh, God. Not a musical that I would think
What
of.
famous recording artist plays Sophie's grandmother, Ruby?
Cher.
2 points. All right.
When you hear musicals, that's not usually the first one that comes to mind.
Answer his 5. Ethan needs to hit this one here. Okay. All right, and Ethan, you chose category number 9. Category
Number 9. Number 9. Number 9.
Famous actors and
As
actresses.
opposed to non-famous.
Okay. Here we go. Ethan, name the film that co-starred Robin Williams and Robert De Niro, which saw De Niro as a man unable to speak, who began speaking after he is given a special new drug.
Awakenings.
For 3 points. All right, so now we get to Rocha here.
No.
That's right. John Rocha now has to answer his 5-point question
yeah.
to stay in the match. And if he gets this right, Christian, it would give him a 2-point advantage over Ethan currently and a 3-point advantage over Bibbs, who has yet to be asked a question. Number 12 comes from the world of Christian Harloff's selfie partner, Julia Roberts.
Right.
Oh, no. Well, it's been great playing you, gentlemen. I'm not a Julia Roberts fan, so this is not going to go well.
And your question from the wild, wonderful world of Miss Roberts.
Who apparently you do not like.
Stay in the match and on the stage with the 2 cohorts in Steel Magnolias. What disorder does Julia Roberts' Shelby suffer from?
I know it's 5, 4, 3, 2.
Repeat the question, please.
I can do that. In Steel Magnolias, what disorder does Julia Roberts' Shelby suffer from?
John has 2 of those left.
I have never seen so many positions of competitors
That's the
on
standing.
the stage.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Repeat, please.
Second one.
In Steel Magnolias, what
I would,
disorder does Julia
like,
Roberts'
ADD would be like the first thing I'd think of, but can't be.
5,
emptying the chamber.
4, 3, 2.
I really don't know. Leukemia?
And with that, John Rocha has been eliminated.
Diabetes.
Oh.
Diabetes.
Looking for diabetes.
John Rocha has been eliminated from the triple threat. So now Ethan Erwin and Bibbs are going head-to-head. Ethan only has his 5 left. Bibbs has 3 of his questions left here. He's in a good position here. All right, we start with Bibbiani for his 2-pointer to bounce to Ethan to force him on his 5. And that would be in the category, category 17. Category 17, that would be in the category of Pixar films.
Wait a minute. Isn't it go to him?
No, you have 17.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was looking at the scores wrong. My apologies.
It's okay.
So
Pixar
it's
movies.
Okay.
Pixar movies. All right, here we go. Ethan, sorry. Bibbiani,
You tricked him.
Pixar. What storybook character has the affection of Woody in Toy Story?
Bo Peep.
That's correct.
Bo Peep. Yes.
All right, so now Ethan
No, she's
Erwin
not so
has to
little.
hit his
She's an
5.
adult.
If he hits it, then Bibbs will have 2 more questions. However, if he misses
Oh, I guess that 5-pointer would get that irrelevant
challenge
3-pointer
Dan
again.
for the championship.
It is funny how that
So
always
Ethan
happens.
Erwin, his category was number 7, Mark. Number 7.
He is Ethan doing Ethan things, and an Ethan thing to do here would be getting a 5-point answer in the form of a question about comedy. These are comedies. Do not do the ha-ha for round 3 because it's way too serious.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Great, now you made us do it.
All right, Ethan, you're a question for 5 points to stay in the match and to get a 4-point advantage over William Bibbiani. In the movie Monty Python and the Holy Grail, what instrument is used to destroy the killer?
The holy hand grenade of Antioch.
The holy hand grenade.
Yes.
Oh, there's more to it. There's more to it.
Ethan does it, so Ethan's tapped out right now. So now it's
Challenge it, Bibbs. There's more to it.
forcing Bibbiani here. Bibbiani.
You didn't have to.
Oh, damn it. It's the holy hand grenade of Antioch.
Grenade from Antioch.
So Bibbs can burn a question here if he wants to. He doesn't have to hit his 3.
Bibbs can kick back and relax in this question, but he doesn't have a chair.
You know, but he also has a chance to break the singles record should he hit both of these here. So let's let's go.
Pressure.
Bibbiani, number
It's a 3-rounder.
number 13. Number 13. Number 13. Here we go. All right. Bibbs, movie quotes. Movie quotes. Here is the question. In which classic film will you hear the quote, "Listen to them, children of the night, what music they make"?
Dracula.
Yes. Okay. So we are down to the final.
Getting that irrelevant 3-pointer.
It is the 5-pointer. It is the 5-pointer. If Bibbiani hits it, he faces Dan Murrell for the championship. However, if he misses, Erwin Murrell 3 will happen. Here we
And
go.
here we
All right.
go.
In the film, in the realm of Leonardo DiCaprio.
Okay. That sexy bitch.
All right. Name 2 of the 3 actors who portray the classic Three Musketeers characters in 1998's The Man in the Iron Mask.
Jeremy Irons and Gerard Depardieu.
And your winner, and new number 1 contender, William
John Malkovich for the Beast. The other musketeer in that, but William Bibbiani seems like he knows everything about that movie. And about
He's got no strings on him. Hey!
Record 27 points. Ethan putting up a Rocha putting up a good fight, but no match today for William Bibbiani on a all-time legendary roll.
He's playing on the run we thought he would when he entered the league in 2016. This is the Bibbiani,
He's riding that momentum from the free-for-all, just like he did last year. Just like I called!
Look at that performance. You look at the free-for-all, Mark, this guy's tough to beat.
That's right, and when you watch the beginning of this match, he was just a fan plucked from obscurity who happened to show up to the right prices. And now all of a sudden, he's going to be going up against Dan Murrell for the championship. Now, as far as Murrell going up against Bibbiani, what is Murrell's mindset when he's probably watching this matchup?
Well, I'll tell you, I mean, he sat...
All I got to do is play a perfect game.
Rounds in the free-for-all.
No problem.
Head-to-head for a lot of it, and Bibbiani bested Murrell for quite a few of them, right? So this is also...
except the one that mattered.
Here too, because
Murrell ended up winning.
Well, yeah, that's absolutely part of it now because Rocha, his fallen horseman, now is not in this thing anymore, and now he can maybe avenge Rocha if he has to. But also remember the magic card here is that Bibbiani has a #1 contender in his pocket for anything. So he's just won this. He doesn't need it for this, right? So
Bless
he'll
me.
use it for teams. We don't know. The other thing is Murrell also has a championship match. So it is going to be a lot of drama. And the match happens in
it's going to be crazy.
Between these two, we're going to see Bibbiani and Murrell. They're going to clash. And they've been talking about this match for a long time, and we finally get it.
It's going to be pretty exciting.
You all been talking about it since Bib's first match.
With every competitor, the winner, and your two fallen competitors right now with the one, the only, Miss Genster.
They're fallen.
Thanks, guys. I'm back with Ethan, Big Time Erwin, and his manager, Jay Washington. A very svelte-looking Jay Washington, by the way, sir.
Good.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm working my ass off for this. I appreciate it. These are size 40s. and haven't worn a size 40 in God knows how long, so I'm proud of that. My size is slimming, too.
38, here we come.
38.
I tried on the 38, and it fit perfectly. Look at God. Look at God.
Oh, yeah. Love it. Oh, I mean... Ethan, I know you really wanted redemption out there.
Damn Kermit the Frog.
I feel like I got it simply because I took him right down to the end of the final question. And, yeah, look, and it all came down to that opponent's choice spin. Had we not gotten that, had we given him something else, you know, it made sense at the time, something he'd spun away from, obviously a perceived weakness on his part. Clearly not the case, but, you know, it's good to learn for the next time. But either way, it was a great time. Really enjoyed it. Really, I love playing against both those guys. It was a ton of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And let's be real. Your focus now, I guess, is going to be shifting to the time machine, right?
Absolutely. I mean, there's no way for Ethan to hold his head down. Played a great game.
Absolutely
like he said, down to the wire. Janine just came off an amazing victory over Stacy. So why not focus both of these great competitors into the way of the team titles? Now, I understand there's a lot of other teams in the way. I get it. And no disrespect to who's the boss and founding fathers and who else is it that counts. But those are the only ones. So no respect to those two.
Maybe critically acclaimed.
That's the goal. That's the focus. And if we got to run through those two, we'll just run through them.
Yeah, Ethan, how are you feeling about playing with Janine?
Really great. I think Janine is incredible. I've been excited for a while since Christian said that we were pairing up. She's super smart. She knows her stuff, and I feel like we complement each other incredibly well.
Ooh, well, Jay, I mean, I'm sure you've got everything figured out on your end, so.
Everything isn't completely figured out. The figuring out part comes to how to beat everybody to get to the Shire Wolves. That's where the figuring out comes. That's where the planning comes. That's where the figuring out which match do they need to be in. Because Emma said they have a match. They have a match. She's never said who their opponents are. So it's
You're still waiting on that.
We're still waiting on that. So we need that to happen, and we'll figure out where we go from next.
Anyone you're looking at in particular?
Let's just start easy and just whoop on some people. Let's do Inky in the brain real quick, knock them out the way. Maybe Corruption. You know, maybe
Corruption.
Maybe Mike and Chance, since Chance wants to still wear that dusty leather jacket. You know, Stacy's been beat. You know, Corruption can be beat. They're not perfect. They're no time machine. So
what
maybe
about Stacy, maybe, and her new opponent?
Stacy's been beat, and Stacy's new opponent. Look, it hurts me to say this. We don't even know her opponent.
I do.
Her teammate. I mean, excuse me. But if she plays with a new teammate the way she played against Janine, that is no worry at all.
Oof. Never at loss for words with you, sir.
Not at all.
Well, Rocha, you win some, you lose some.
Yeah, it's the game.
Oh, that was tough to watch.
Oh, well, you know, listen, I earned my shot at those guys. They're two of the titans of the game right now. What can you say? Ethan beat a murderer's row last year to win that belt. Couldn't get it done against Dan in the live event, but he brought his game today. And Bibbs has been on a run. You know, this is his year. You know, last year was my year. I won the belt. This feels like it's Bibbs' year to at least challenge for the belt. I'm not giving him the victory over my horseman mate, Dan Murrell, but, you know, he played a hell of a game. Nothing I could have done there. 23, 27, 15. Those are, you know, what can you do?
Yeah, and win or lose, you're so passionate about this game. It's so fun to watch. They were having trouble just keeping you in frame in the control room because you're just so animated, and you can tell you just love this game so much.
Yeah, I got to play my way. I don't play for anybody else. In frame, out of frame. I got to play my way, and that's where I was today.
How'd
That's how it
standing
goes.
feel out there?
Standing feel nice. I actually kind of like it. Bibbs might have stumbled onto something, and I kind of like it. So maybe they'll do a still standing 2 shirt for me. But either way, great match. Couldn't get it done today. No shame. I didn't miss anything that I knew, so there's no shame in that way. And even if I'd gotten those points, still wouldn't have been enough to beat Bibbs. He's on a run.
And now, with this out of the way, obviously the focus is back on teams.
Yeah.
You know, you guys are going to be playing Double Toasted in Houston. How are you feeling about that coming
I'm
up?
excited for that. Double Toast has been talking their mess. I didn't know those guys could speak those words in that way. I'm a little offended, but, you know, we're going to come see them in their hometown. We're coming to their hometown to handle business. You know, my dad once said the best way to whoop that ass is whoop that ass in front of their family. So I'm going to whoop that ass in front of their family in Houston.
Damn.
Dan's riding with me, shotgun. We're going to have a good time against Double Toasted. Maybe send them back home triple toasted or quadruple toasted. I don't know. Maybe we'll take over their podcast. Who knows? But either way, we're coming and we're going to have fun, and that's my focus. I've been a 2-time singles champion. Be nice to be a 2-time tag champion as well. So we'll see. Not overlooking them, but we definitely are excited to go face them.
I love where your head's at. Good luck in Houston, man.
Thank you, Jen.
And we're back with William the Beast, Bibbiani.
Reppin' Team Coffee Table.
You won.
I'm so glad they chose me from that audience. There's so many people there. I put my name in that hat, and oh man, it all worked out. It's great. It's great. Thank you so much.
Bibbiani, come on down.
That when this is like your moment. When we were standing on the stage together at Free For All, like it felt like everything was kind of coming together for you.
Well, I mean, I don't want to jinx it, but I do seem to be on a bit of a roll, and I want to enjoy that while I can. It's been really nice.
Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh, hi, the kid.
Hey, I just wanted to come in and say
Again?
so awesome out there, man. I was rooting you on, and you really deserved it after the free-for-all and everything. And
you were great at the free-for-all too, man. Thank you so much.
man. Well, you've always been very supportive of me, even after back to my first match, so I really appreciate it, man.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate that.
Well, I'll go now, so. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, I'll let you finish up.
Thank you so much.
At least he talked into the mic today.
That's great, yeah. Wonder if that'll be important later. Anyway, what were you talking about?
Oh, yeah. So now, Merle, you guys have never actually faced each other except for at Free For All, being on the stage together.
We were at the first Free For All briefly, and then we were on the third Free For All forever, and it was like being in the trenches, and we were all just like collapsing in each other's arms. And he was so sweet. Like when he won, he actually like apologized to me. He was just like, this was such a good match. So he's really cool, and I really respect the hell out of him. And I think he is one of the, if not the, at least one of the top 2 competitors we've ever had in the league. And I've been wanting to play him since I started playing, and I am thrilled and I'm honored that I get that opportunity now. And I want to tell Dan right now, Dan, there we go. Hi, Dan Murrell.
Been there the whole time.
Hi, Dan. Hi, Dan. See you soon. Growl.
No trash talk.
You, sir, are very nice, and I respect you. And if you beat me, I would understand, but I hope you don't, because I think I'm pretty good, and I think I got a chance, and...
Best of luck.
Growl.
Back to you, Jen.
Have a nice day.
Have a nice day. Total Mick Foley.
Ethan played incredibly, and he talked about it too. And what the main focus there for both of them, interestingly enough, is that Jay started talking about the time machine. Him, Janine, and Ethan taking that shot in the teams. And that was the same narrative, really, of what John Rocha was talking about. He understood it. He got it.
Bibbs can't talk trash. He's too cuddly.
Really focused on Houston and focused on winning those team championships again to become the first ever two-time champ, right? But Bibbiani, it was very nice to see
That's the thing. Is that we can talk about potentialities with Ethan and Rocha, but Bibbiani clearly knows what he's facing right now, and it may be the most daunting task of his storied career.
And he said as much, that he's excited to see it and excited to get a shot to get his title back, but it was also very nice to see the kid run in there. They've had this friendship, and the kid came in and congratulated him, and they're just 2 likable people, those 2. And in fact, you see him run in there, and he says, "Thanks, the kid." It was really nice.
It was like Mean Joe giving his Coca-Cola and his jersey and trading it back in the 70s. It was a very nice thing.
Except if it was the other Coke commercial where they
free-for-all. So you have
got.
two free-for-all legends in that
Remember
shot.
when
And
the two
Bibbiani
coat
now
guys
looks like
ran in?
he's
It's like,
standing
no,
up
we
for
can't
a
promote
championship.
this, and then they
Your
just
championship
he ripped the shirt off the other
Merle
guy's
versus
chest. And,
Bibbiani won,
ugh.
because the other two would have been sequels. This is the first time these two have ever faced each other, and what a championship match it will be. We're going to have the dangerous one, Dan Merle, defending his championship against William the Beast Bibbiani, who now sits at 7-5. So this is going to be something I can't wait to look for. I know the fans are going to be looking forward to it.
Yes!
Thank you to everybody on Patreon who has helped really build this league, by the way. Everyone who we want to come to Houston to see Dan and Rocha play against Double Toasted, and of course the main event, Andrew Guy versus Ben Bateman.
Who wants to destroy that fool?
Go to the Schmoedownlive.com.
May 18th.
Over there. May
Thank God it's not May 19th.
May 17th.
Kane would not be happy.
It's right down the street. That is Christian. I am Mark in podcast form. You can always check out the movie trivia Schmoedown on Himalaya.
Himalaya, Himalaya, Himalaya.
And check out all these articles on TriviaSD.com, as well as the Schmoedown Rundown. There's so much content for you guys to ingest if you are big Schmoedown fans, and if you like to keep up on it, there's so much that we have for you. Check all the links and subscribe to this channel, obviously. Thank you. For Mark Ellis, I'm Christian Arloff. We'll see you next time.
What's going on here?
Ben Bateman, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you.
Hey, Mark, how are you, man?
Not too
I
bad.
would beat you again.
I apologize now for defeating you in Chicago in front of 1,000 people, but
okay.
Don't feel too bad about that.
It's gonna be an absolutely crazy one.
Okay.
You look great, Mark. Have you lost weight?
Oh, you're really working hard to sell this nice guy thing, and I can see in you. You want to say something, so come on.
I don't
Come
want to say
on.
anything. Look, man, a year ago probably would have had things to say to you. I would have wanted to yell and scream and team action, but that's just not what I'm doing now. I'm here to win. I'm really excited for Chicago. I think you and I have some history.
Well, I did beat you, so
You got lucky. I made some mistakes that day.
Sure, luck.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's a good way to put it. Whatever makes you sleep at night.
Draco, people talk about us as the best players that never win a belt. And after Chicago,
I would agree with that. We are, but I'm
that's
in
just
first
gonna
position.
be you.
We'll see.
And I just say that honestly, man.
No.
That's really how I feel.
There's the Ben Bateman we all know and love. So I'm going to do you. Put on my cool sunglasses, and I'm going to walk off and be smug. So
cool.
Look forward to losing to you.
All right.
Thank you, Mark and Ben and Mark and Christian and Bibbs and Ethan and John and the kid and Jen and everybody. That was let's take the things off because they tight on the ears. That was a fun match, very competitive match. Even John, who I guess he's probably a little disappointed in that performance, but even he played a good match. I was a little disappointed they all missed that Chris Rock question. I thought that was a pretty straightforward one. I mean, I've never actually seen that Longest Yard remake all the way through, but even I knew that. It was so yeah, that was a little surprising, but yeah, it's nice to actually be able to call something once. It just, as I said, I think momentum's just a real thing when it comes to this, and it's like when JTE played John, and, you know, they were all talking about JTE making his return, and I'm like, but he's played in 4 matches already. He's making his return for the 4th time this year. So it's like that momentum thing. He had the momentum of playing in matches, even though he had just made his return. With Ethan, even though he played much better than, you know, a person that hadn't played in 3 months, I think it did play somewhat of a factor. Obviously, a lot of people are going to talk about that Kermit the Frog question. But I agreed with that. The question was, what character played, because it wasn't even who, it said what character, unless they said it wrong. But even then, I think if you've seen the Muppet Christmas Carol enough, like I have, because, you know, Muppets is something that I've always watched and I'm always a fan of. You know, it's Kermit the Frog. Like when it says a Muppet Christmas Carol, throw in the possibility that the Muppets are probably one of the Muppets is probably an answer. He was on the right track, though. I mean, he did say Michael Caine, who was Scrooge in that movie. But yeah, it's just one of those cases. ultimately, I guess it would have ultimately. Actually, it wouldn't have helped him win the game. It actually would have been tied if he had gotten that right. But if he had gone to multiple choice and then got it right, Bibb still would have won. So it's kind of one of those things where it kind of made a difference, but in the end, not really. So yeah, we got Bibbiani versus Merle. The whole thing about momentum and carrying something, you can kind of throw that out the window because they pretty much both have a tremendous amount of momentum right now. Bibbs has had quite a bit of momentum. Dan's had quite a bit of momentum. And one was the free-for-all MVP. The other one won the damn free-for-all. So, one's got a number one contenders match coming up and is already a number one contender. And the other one is the champion and has another championship match coming up. Or whenever he chooses. So, yeah, it's a battle of lots of momentum versus lots of momentum. Who's going to win? The guy with lots of momentum. Yay, I'm right on that one. So, yeah, Bibbiani versus Merle. Something that we've been waiting to see for 2.5 bloody years. And we're finally going to get to see it. Kind of like the Andreyko Bibbiani rematch. God, we waited so long for that, and it didn't disappoint. So can't wait for that match to happen. So I guess the next match that comes up will be the Chicago live shows, Odd Couple, Who's the Boss, and the Star Wars title match that I guess by the time that this airs, that winner will be determined. However, we're not going to know who it is until the actual night. So who knows? So really looking forward to seeing a sold-out show or sold-out crowd at the Chicago show. Going to be a very, very fun night for all of them. As a person that's been to a couple of live shows myself, hope they all enjoy it. It's going to be a blast and something that you'll remember for a long time. I know I will. So that's going to do it for this edition of JTH Reacts to the Movie Trivia Schmoedown. Always watch their content first. It is the right thing to do. Follow me on Twitter or social media if you choose at WWEJTH1. And always make sure to follow all the Schmoedown related content. Join the Facebook page. Follow the Twitter page at the Schmoedown. Follow the official Movie Trivia Schmoedown website at triviasd.com. And become a Patreon if you can. It goes a long way and it helps the show out. And can allow you to watch things like the live show live. Because that's kind of how it works. Live. And also there's a Discord chat for the Patreon users. So that's another perk. You not only do get the tiers of the Patreon, but you also get to join the Discord group as well. So with that being said, next time JTH will see you, we'll be reacting to the Chicago live shows. So I will see you then. So until then, this is JTH. Thank you for watching. And until then, I bid you adieu.